settle.
And of course he's a leaner bull these days. Having looked at the video of his match with Tim Henman at Wimbledon, he said, oh, I gained a bit of weight. And he's really worked hard through the summer, taken the weight off, a little bit more speed in the legs.
So it's A-Rod to begin here. As David said, he's just lost one set so far on his way to the semi-final. Well, rather gentle opener, but it worked. It wasn't so gentle. Perhaps the key element is how Nalbandian returns this Roddick serve. He has returned so well, particularly against Federer, but also in other matches against Philippoussis. But you don't get those back. Oh, holds jointly the world record of 149 with Rosetsky. And he didn't look like he was suffering from being overawed by the occasion there.
What will be particularly pleasing for him is that he got into two long rallies and won them both. If he can out-rally Nalbandian when the big serve is not bringing him cheap points, then he's looking very good indeed.
Second Argentine to reach the US Open semi-final in the Open era. Vilas, the other one.
And it's Nalbandian who's looking rather tense. Really hitting through his ground strokes.
That's what he has now, Nalbandian, ability like Roddick, but this is understated. Nalbandian can pick winners from anywhere. Totally surprise an opponent like he did with Roddick there.
Stepping in, taking ball quite early, well inside the baseline. Nalbandian hitting through with much more freedom.
Just a look behind from Roddick to Andreas Egli, but the ace given. perhaps wrongly. Certainly Hawkeye thinks so.
Considering how nervy he looked at the start of the match, losing the first 5 points, he'll be thrilled to have then won 4 in a row.
Again, it seems so unlikely that he can pick a winner from way out there so far back.
It's all about timing, isn't it?
Oh, it's a glorious shot. Looked like Roddick had it covered.
Yes, poor volley, this one, really. It's betwixt and between, and of course it gave Nalbandian the opportunity to run onto the pass, and so many of the players are good at that.
So the trusty serve comes to his aid at an opportune time. Ace number 3.
Nalbandian thought that was a little long.
If Hawkeye's got a view on that. All right.
That was the shot that took Philippoussis to the cleaners, the backhand down the line.
Roddick early on has got to suck it up here and save the break. No problem. 5 aces early on. Whoa. He is cranking it up, even by his own standards. This is mighty serving from Roddick, and it needs to be to keep this fella quiet. He's out of big trouble there. A break point and a threatened early strike from the Argentines, snuffed out.
I am your joy, your pain. I am a gift, a taunt. I am an ally and a traitor. The reason you'll be remembered or lost.
I am your first love. Your last chance. Own me.
Own me. And you own my game.
Relies on HP technology to produce and distribute products that bring the world perfect sound.
With Kia, the car that cares.
So a promising start on this glorious day for another cracking semi-final. 1-2. the sun had something to do with that. Yeah. A terrific movement from Nalbandian there. Real care on every shot.
Roddick in the end having to attempt his last shot very, very early indeed, almost on the half volley.
Nalbandian certainly setting the pace. Roddick with some big serving. But once the rallies get underway, it's Nalbandian who looks to be the aggressor here. Roddick is fairly muted in comparison. May not last long, that state of affairs, but that's where we are right now.
Sets himself so early for that backhand down the line. It's everything right.
Two all on the scoreboard, but Nalbandian, it seems to me, with the moral victory early on here. There's Roddick serving. Fairly well spread. And the unreturns are mounting. 7 aces now.
Yes, he's really picked up where he left off against Schalken. Sort of 6 aces in a row against the Dutchman.
But he doesn't look too comfortable off the ground. Now, Nalbandian has settled into this match a little better. And Roddick is having to serve like a demon to stay with him. It's a thankless task, trying to latch on to the Roddick serve at the moment.
It's particularly because he's getting 2/3 of them in. 10 out of 15 serves have gone in.
And another 3 aces in the game. And This is serving of the very highest order. And Nalbandian unflustered.
It's a bit like when Goran Ivanisevic was on fire with his serving, isn't it? You just had to say to yourself, OK, there's going to be one service game a set when he's not going to come up with the 3 aces, where he's going to miss 3 out of 4 first serves. Of course, what it does do is then put immense pressure on you to take advantage of the few second serves you get. I mean, Roddick, so far, 71% of first serves have gone in. And what are we up to? 9 aces already, which is quite extraordinary. He hasn't hit a winner off any other position, but if Nalbandian can just say to himself, there'll be one poor service game. If I take advantage of that, easy to say that from here.
Yes.
It's so easy when you're out there.
And he seems to be coping with that pretty well. He's playing the rallies, when we are getting rallies, mostly on his serve, very well. And even on Roddick's serve, on the rare occasion that we get into a rally on Roddick's serve, Nalbandian seems as if he knows exactly what he's doing.
I think he's certainly a stronger player mentally than when he lost to Hewitt in the final at Wimbledon. I think he, like us, sort of doubted that he really belonged in a Grand Slam final at that stage. Now I'm quite certain that he believes, and he does belong, at this stage of one of the major tournaments. He's proved himself to be right up there with the best.
So it's with serve, emphatically with serve so far, apart from Roddick's second service game where he had to save break point. The first poor shot he's played.
Because the other side of the equation, when you don't have the big serve, is that you have to work that much harder for your own service games. You throw in a couple of poor points, you can't ace yourself back into a winning situation.
Now, opening here for Roddick. Nalbandian starting to make errors. This is putting you on the spot, David. But I know your memory is much better than mine. Did he drop his serve against Philippoussis?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
He did?
Yeah. Yes, he lost the second set on the tie-break, but I think even both the first and second sets, they traded breaks of serve.
Because one of the great attributes that Nalbandian has is he takes adversity so well. If he does drop serve, he comes back even stronger after that. But having seen Roddick so far, he doesn't want to drop his serve. And there's the biggest ground shot that Roddick's hit. Absolutely streaking through.
Approach shot was a little short. And going cross court, it gives your opponent the angles.
First howitzer from Roddick from the back. And here's break point, his first. And he gets some of his own medicine.
Did he get an outside edge on that?
I'm not sure. But he's got to say break point again. Just terrific play from Nalbandian. That's exactly what we were talking about. In trouble, but stays so calm.
Going back to the same place 3 times in a row, forcing Roddick constantly to turn. It's been a grueling point for Roddick. He was stretching and stretching and stretching.
Kind of shot that Nalbandian will be hoping to see a lot of.
So we used to see a lot of poor backhands from Roddick. Not so many now. Moved the shot tremendously.
First double of the match from either guy. He's made enough errors in this game. There's a real chance here. Third break point. Nalbandian really dropping off the high pedestal of form he has played most of this match with so far. Third break chance for Roddick. I think he did just miss. He's not taking his chances, Roddick.
He's not really going for them. He ran round to get the big forehand into play a couple of times, but then didn't launch into the shot. Surely these early stages worth the risk of really going for the big winner, because the psychological blow of getting the first break would be considerable.
Lovely touch, which we saw so much of last June and July at Wimbledon. This wasn't easy.
Roddick did well with the topspin, getting it down at the feet. Tim Hemlin would have been proud of that half volley, and that's the highest of standards.
It's a strange game, this one, from the Argentine. Two delightful shots, but that right side of the stat has moved up quite a bit in this game. Counted 4 unforced errors. That's fabulous.
Just too deliberate on the volley. Again, the players are so good when they're running on to the passing shots.
Roddick will be particularly pleased, although he does play the backhand that much better when he is running onto it. Fourth break point. Nalbandian doing just enough. Fred Gilbert. You can see an empty chair next to him. That's not a great place to sit next to him. Not during a match.
Unless you've got a pair of earplugs.
Well, the match started terrific, but this hasn't been a good game. Roddick won't worry about that if he can get a break. He's looking a gift horse in the mouth. Nalbandian struggling. And Roddick is failing to get the goodies here. Well, Roddick not doing an awful lot again, but Nalbandian self-destructing.
Yes, it's very hard to fathom out. Nalbandian keeping, making all these errors off his oh-so-solid backhand wing, and then Roddick freezing it, would seem, and he gets the break points.
This is the sixth. Real opportunity there. Nalbandian plugging away down that backhand side, but the alarming thing for Roddick is he's had a couple of crashing forehands, but the rest of it, he looks a very ordinary player on the forehand, and that hasn't been Roddick's form over the last month. He's looked far from ordinary.
8 deuces.
Not happy there, and Nalbandian Giving him a long look to see how he was suffering.
It is sometimes difficult for the players in the second semi-final. They're not quite certain when they're going to be on, but neither of them playing well at the moment.
Well, Nalbandian won it. I don't know how, but it wasn't impressive.
Well, just a little faster, isn't he?
Yes, a little faster than anybody else at the moment. So it slows down, but it still comes pretty quick. That'll make him feel better.
Where was that shot when he had all those break points? 6 of them. Never produced one.
What a rally, what a shot it was, because Roddick looked terrific on the volley there. Just the one he wanted, and Nalbandian, how fast was he moving onto it?
You've already seen him hook one running forehand down the line. This time really whips up around the ball, pulls it cross court.
Another error that side from Nalbandian. The wheels haven't come off, but he's not playing well at the moment. But they're still level on serve.
That's interesting. You best start believing in ghost stories. You're in one.
Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl.
Irreproachable for my skin, irreproachable for my tan, for my body, and for my feet, just Geox. Its secret is the membrane, waterproof and breathable. Geox, the shoe that breathes.
Enjoy the US Open with the Lacoste champions.
Now then, maybe that's one of the problems on his left wrist, but it's the left wrist that's putting in some of the work on the double-hander. Like Spreen taping him up. That might account for something.
Yep, certainly if he's feeling that, if he's strained it a little bit with all the tennis he has played, and of course he's had to put in a lot of tennis over the last 48 hours, unlike Roddick. Got through, beat the rain that one night.
We redo it. That's what we're good.
so hard and so quickly, the ATP trainers. Even having to attend to Guillermo Correa, of course, when he cut himself in his kitchen with a knife and hadn't told him about it. Not extraordinary, that.
He's his own man, isn't he, Guillermo Correa? See how this Argentine does here. You want a quicker service game than the last one. Strange, isn't it? It's the backhand from Nalbandian, normally so secure, which is missing. Maybe the wrist problem is an answer to that. And Roddick's forehand, not the power it normally is. Now watch it.
He's been forced to play from well behind the baseline. May have to perhaps take some risks, take the ball a little earlier, try and get in the ascendancy in the rallies.
Well, good judgment. Wasn't far away. Indeed, Nalbandian giving it a stare, but it was 2 or 3 inches long. One of the few short balls that Roddick's been able to latch onto.
Not comfortable on the baseline so far today, Andy Roddick. Just saw the first signs of the frustration of it all getting to him there. The bread and butter shot missed.
Well, this isn't the standard of play we saw in the first semi-final, but maybe it's a slow burner. But an unusual amount of errors early on.
Well, now Nalbandian's passed the first hurdle. It's the first time he's ever won 4 games in a set from Roddick.
Roddick into double figures on aces now. Still, first serve percentage around the 70% mark. And when Roddick's serving at 70%, you don't look to break his serve. Yeah, really good work on the forehand that time from Andy Roddick.
Roddick leads 5 games to 4, first set.
So by and large, Roddick winning his service games a lot more easily than Nalbandian.
And that fact adds its own pressures on the Argentine. He's going to work so much harder. Again, doesn't have the big serve to bring him a whole supply of cheap points. 2 love service games in the match now for Andy Roddick, the first game of the match and then the last one. And it's probably a good job for Nalbandian that he's actually serving second here, because at least he gets to sit down, and otherwise he might be finding himself starting to serve again within about 2 minutes of winning a service game.
He's had a tough run through, hasn't he? He beat a qualifier in the opening round, Philip. Kohlschreiber of Germany. But after that, Jarkko Niemann, and he's a dangerous guy from Finland. And that went pretty much all the way. Tiebreak in the end in the 5th set divided them. Then Mark Philippoussis, then Roger Federer, and then a fired-up Yunus Elanawi. So he really has earned his place in this semi-final.
Oh yeah, he certainly, no one could suggest he's had an easy draw. Sure, the qualifier in the first round.
So after 38 minutes, Nalbandian serves then to stay in this first set. And as good a forehand as Roddick has hit from the back.
And he took it on. It was the low percentage shot down the line over the high part of the net.
Really disappointing. He worked so hard to get himself back in the rally. A few rather anxious calls now to Andy Roddick. Smooth as silk there, Nalbandian. Jimmy Connors shaking his head. He wants more than this.
Yeah, Panzer Segura in the Panama hat. It's nice to see James Scott Connors. We don't see him at many tournaments these days.
And looking good. Another forehand dumped into the net. Really is extraordinary.
And you've rightly highlighted the fact that they're all going in the net, so he's coming over the ball, turning the racket head over too soon.
Just sense that whoever catches fire here could race away with this set. But it doesn't look likely, it doesn't look imminent. This is number 11 and 12. And eyes down for a full house. He was after it. His first double fault. Big forehand from Roddick, and Nalbandian says, easy, take that.
Yes, if you open up the angles and don't hit the winner, more often than not, your opponent will exploit them.
Just missed it. Now this is different. 3 aces up to 40 love. But suddenly Nalbandian keeping him involved. Just out. Or was it? Very tough. Impossible to overrule. Looked like a little bit of the ball might have got some of the line. Now he can't find a first serve. And Nalbandian's in business here. Very much in business. Roddick getting a bit carried away perhaps with those 3 aces earlier on. And here's Nalbandian's second chance in the match to get the break.
You know, the showboating going for the big second serve at 40 love now looks rather rash.
Well, he didn't hold back, did he? Got the short ball. But at a crucial point, he might have got tentative. Not that time. Bullet of a second serve.
Such a smart one this time, swinging it right into the body of Nalbandian, right into his head.
And that'll be disappointing for Nalbandian. Roddick just seemed to lose his focus a bit there. But Nalbandian not able to take advantage. Once again, he's going to have to serve to stay in the set.
Andy Roddick looking up at the giant screen, but neither man will be satisfied with their form to date. It hasn't been a classic set by any means. We had 8 break points, but no breaks, a lot of unforced errors. I'm sure a lot of aces from Roddick, but not many winners from other departments. It's strange. They really haven't settled into their best tennis at all.
No, he's just a little bit out of kilter. It may be the occasion. Roddick, he doesn't seem to be under pressure mentally. It's just that the rhythm isn't there. Perhaps he is a little bit tentative though, although it's obviously in Nalbandian's strategy to keep the ball as deep as he possibly can, deny him the chance to hit forehands.
Yeah, that's very smart tactics. Obviously, if you drop the ball mid-court, Roddick is going to bring his big forehand into gear time and time again, whereas if you can pin him back into the backhand corner with deep pulls, and just every now and again nudge one into the forehand corner to keep him honest.
To hear the Rolling Stones not fade away in the backhand. This goes on the full distance as it well might. There's a danger one of them might fade away in this heat. Nice breeze. Nalbandian not sweating as much as he was in his quarter-final. Indeed, the match against Federer when he had to get the towel several times to wipe the back of the court.
An area of the game that Nalbandian can improve on quite markedly is his volleying. It's a little stiff, it's a little forced. But that to me is absolutely dumb from Roddick. He's got Nalbandian stretching all over the place. He's even semi-fallen here and had to push himself up. And what does Roddick do? Takes all the pace off the approach and allows Nalbandian to get right back in the rally. Surely there he had to attack.
An opening for Roddick again here. It's 2 points in the set. Yes, he was in trouble from the poor return, really. Nowhere near enough.
Look how far Roddick is back behind the baseline here. Exploited by Nalbandian, even though it wasn't a winning drop shot. It just put him in the ascendancy in the rally.
Very strange rally in that Roddick gave it everything, it seemed, from the back there, and the forehand just had no energy behind it. Nalbandian just picks it off with ease. And here we are in a breaker.
Well, normally you say the aggressor should win the tie-break. Roddick's been very aggressive on the serve, of course, but not in the rallies.
Roddick's played 3 breakers in the tournament so far, has won 2 of them. Nalbandian has won 4 out of 5. Again, Nalbandian the aggressor in the rally and winning it.
And suddenly the backhand down the line really beginning to make an impact. These men have really good tiebreak records this year. 29-12 for Roddick, 15-7 for Nalbandian.
Yeah, that's a more purposeful rally from the American. Starting with a double-hander up the line.
And looking to move in and win the point with the volley rather than just trying to blast away from the baseline. Mini break immediately recovered.
And a forehand that Roddick would have been proud of there. Gave it everything. Massive strength in that right arm.
Essentially, Roddick's got first serves in on both his service points so far, but Nalbandian's got them back and got them back deep.
14 aces now in the one set. Eduardo Infantino won't be too happy with the way he's played, but he'll forget it if he can clear out the win. And again, Roddick getting the reward for the move forward.
He lobbed so well against Philippoussis, did Nalbandian. That one missed by quite a distance.
Still muttering away under his breath. But he's done a good job with Andy Roddick. It's not coincidence that Roddick's form has rocketed since they joined up at the start of the year.
He's constructing his points very well at the moment, Nalbandian, moving Roddick around.
Full of purpose right the way through that, and never relinquish control. Over, it was probably a winner, but just enough power on the Roddick shot to thwart him.
Nalbandian guilty there of being a little passive on the, particularly on the backhand slice. There was nothing on it, and there wasn't any depth on it. And that sort of gave Roddick the opportunity to attack.
What a great sight that is, and everybody here right now. Just away, and here are 2 set points for David Nalbandian. Well played. 14 aces for Roddick. He served at nigh on 70% in the set, but the serve alone wasn't enough. And when it came to the breaker, the slightly better play of Nalbandian was too good for him. Roddick has got to play a lot better if he's to get his dream of getting to the final here.
Pick me. I'm smiling.
Pick me, please.
You pick the dog over your brother?
Oh, not the dog.
The HP All-in-One printer with proof sheet makes it easy to pick and print just the right shots.
Oh, that hurts.
With Kia, the car that cares.
Well, it may be Super Saturday, but you try telling that to the guys here or the TV executives who are looking forward to an Agassi-Roddick final. They may get neither.
Yes, they burst out into applause when the draw came out, and Roddick and Agassi were in opposite halves, the TV executives.
They're busy biting their nails right now, because I think that Nalbandian's only going to get better. Roddick, we know, has a lot left in him, a lot of improvement left in him, but is he going to find it?
This must be a great feeling to win a set when you actually haven't played very well. It's the first set he's ever won against Roddick, and the first time Roddick's been behind in a match this tournament.
Oh! That's feeding off the power.
And that will hurt, because that's one of the best forehands Roddick's hit in the entire match. Perfect depth.
Whoa! Will that be a shot to get everyone fired up?
Well, there's certainly signs here that Roddick is saying to himself, I was far too cautious in that opening set. I wasn't going for my shots. He's really flinging some big forehands at Nalbandian now.
Well, a couple of unforced errors from Nalbandian.
The last thing he wants to do now is to drop his opening service game, having established the dominance.
Ouch. Looked like he was gliding into that to make a really good volley. But he's now got to say break point. Roddick's got to improve on that. Such a good idea. Roddick looking down at the line judge, challenging him to not call it out, but he holds firm. I'm not sure he meant it to be quite as good a shot as this, Nalbandian. Wasn't the drop shot good?
And even then, with Roddick just getting it up and getting it so deep, he had to stay so patient, stay so calm to make the pass.
Beginning to show us now why he's so highly rated. It's taken time for this kind of form to emerge in this heat this afternoon. And that's not a good sign for Andy Roddick. Wasn't there a question of him losing the break points. Nalbandian grabbed them.
Turn of serve speeds.
That's presumably off the second serve.
Yeah. Ability to generate pace as well as using your opponents. Wants to get the heat back out in his own serve right now.
So he's off and running in the second set. 14 aces in the first. Good work from Roddick.
He certainly is hitting his forehand with a lot more power, a lot more depth and a lot more purpose than he was in the first set.
The second set promises to be a lot more appetizing than the first. Really thundered into that forehand. It's developing into the kind of match we hoped it would be.
And the sweat is back for David Nalbandian. Reminds me of Andre Medvedev. He's a great perspirer on the court.
Only the second ace for the Argentine. And he's kept his first serve percentage high, around 74%. Roddick's has dropped, currently on 64%.
No, well, the photographers are a little split, aren't they? Most of the lenses trained on Roddick, but not exclusively. Poor footwork from Roddick. In fact, lack of footwork. Real opening down the line. Remained very square onto the court, didn't turn at all.
He's trying to let rip with that forehand. But Nalbandian at the moment seems to be cruising. Set and 2-1 up in the second.
A Grand Slam in the UK. A Grand Slam in France. A Grand Slam in Australia. Another Grand Slam brought to you by Kia.
Irreproachable for my skin. Irreproachable for my tan. For my body. And for my feet, just Geox. Its secret is the membrane, waterproof and breathable. Geox, the shoe that breathes.
Enjoy the US Open with the Lacoste champions.
Two men's semi-finals, and then tonight, of course, Kim Clijsters against Justine Henin-Ardenne. First all-Belgian final in the US Open. And of course, we'll show that to you Sunday morning, 8:30 UK, 9:30 Central European time.
It's scheduled for prime time in America, 8 p.m. CBS were rather expecting one of the Williamses to be there, if not both.
Of course, they lost both their other key Americans rather carelessly yesterday. Third double for Roddick. That was a very good flick on the backhand overhead from Andy Roddick.
It certainly was, because it was a very, very difficult shot under a lot of pressure. Could have been 15-30.
Thought he'd made it. So did he. He covered it. There in plenty of time. Oh, they can eat those up. Technique all wrong there.
This is a great chance. Another one of those running forehands, and he's gobbled all of those up till then.
And the battering ram, which is Roddick's serve, holds sway. So 16 games. No breaks of serve.
He's standing a lot further in to receive serve, but then that's not surprising, because Ljubicic has got a much bigger serve than Nalbandian.
Nalbandian's definitely gone for percentages today. Still up in the 70s. I thought he deserved a call.
I don't think there was any doubt about being wide. Just frustrated at his own mistakes. Nothing for them really to feed off at the moment. It's all being played at a slow tempo. Nalbandian sort of dictating the pace of the match.
One of the few winners he's been able to pick directly off the serve.
13-15.
Just coming away. Nalbandian's left wrist. See the sweat pouring off him.
And now we're rather back to the first set, aren't we, with a lot of points being decided by unforced errors.
Super rally, keeping the ball either deep or at an angle. And no alarms for Nalbandian now, just the one break point he had to save in this set. And that's just the tape being fastened.
Irreproachable for my skin. Irreproachable for my tan. For my body. And for my feet, just Geox. Its secret is the membrane, waterproof and breathable. Geox, the shoe that breathes.
That's interesting.
Start believing in ghost stories. You're in one.
Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl.
Open, live from Flushing Meadow, and the women's final at 2 in the early hours of Sunday morning on Eurosport. Enjoy the US Open with the Lacoste champions.
With Kia, the car that cares.
So Doug Spreen was on, but just securing the tape on Nalbandian's left wrist. 2-3, second set. Here's number 17. But they're not as frequent in this set so far. Just 3 for Roddick, 14 in the first set. Sure he meant to moonball it as much. I think it got it high up, but it had a good effect.
It certainly took Roddick's rhythm away. To generate all his own pace with the snatching at the ball.
That's a wonderful shot from Nalbandian. Again, so cool as Roddick marauded forward.
There's a considered purpose about everything Nalbandian does, isn't there? Very deliberate in his stroke play.
Far he's standing back. This is a big point. And Nalbandian mops him up, reads him like a book, and again takes the pace. And here are 2 break points to get a real grip on this match.
Too obvious, wasn't it, from Roddick, the big in-to-out forehand. And if he didn't hit the clean winner, he'd taken himself so far out of court.
Ooh. Sigh of relief from Roddick that the serve did the trick. He's got it. Not enough on the cross court from Roddick. And Nalbandian, with 2 absolutely wonderful shots in that game, has the first break in the match and now has a vice-like grip on this.
Again, there was a lack of conviction about the Roddick approach. It wasn't deep enough, it wasn't wide enough, and if you go in cross court, we say it so many times, you give the opponent 2 angles to exploit, and you don't know which one to cover.
The first break after an hour and 21 minutes. Well, neither's happy there. Roddick thought he'd run the point. And after this, Nalbandian thought he'd run it. No, it's out. According to Hawkeye, which makes very few mistakes.
Well, it's a bad mistake from Andreas Egli, overruling.
Nalbandian takes that kind of stuff very well indeed. Takes it on the chin and just refocuses. And the other important thing is keeping the crowd out of this. They're trying all they can to support Roddick, but they're getting nothing to feed off. He needs to pump them up. He needs to pump himself up. It's a somewhat muted performance by both player and crowd, and they're linked. Too good, not enough on the volley.
Much too obvious, wasn't it? He pushed Nalbandian back deep, so it was pretty obvious he was going to play the stop volley. He hit it too deep. Nalbandian was anticipating it, was moving for it before the shot had even been played.
So cool, so rhythmic. And Nalbandian starting to play very well again, and a lot better than Roddick. His man is nowhere near the kind of man we thought he would be. We talked about the baggage that Roddick had hanging over him coming into this game, and it looks like it might be a little bit too heavy for him. He needs something to happen, and increasingly quickly.
The unforced error gives him a little lifeline. The crowd sense it. If he could break back immediately.
Maybe all it needs. You can just imagine his frustration there. That's a home run, even in this stadium. Too good. When he goes for the big shots, invariably they're coming off. And Roddick is looking very iffy when he goes for the explosions. And he's a game away from a 2-set lead.
Gigi, puoi fare un autografo?
Come no, certo.
Grazie.
Ciao. My baby.
Irreproachable for my skin. Irreproachable for my tan. For my body. And for my feet, just Geox. Its secret is the membrane, waterproof and breathable. Geox, the shoe that breathes.
Enjoy the US Open with the Lacoste champions.
He's playing awfully well now. It took a set, really, and a couple of games for Nalbandian to show us what he's made of. Roddick has yet to do that.
Yes, he's just been brought down to Nalbandian's tempo. The pace, it's all quite slow, it's all quite deliberate. Whereas Andy Roddick is all explosive and dynamic and spontaneity.
Needs to show us his character. Oh, yes, now. That's something for the crowd. But you'd like to see a fist pump from Roddick after a shot like that, instead of which there's nothing.
15-0.
Well, that was sensational.
Because the approach just couldn't have been more perfect.
Two of his best forehands back-to-back in the match. A big game from Andy Roddick. Will that give him something now with which to attack Nalbandian in this, well, it must be the crucial game in the match.
Too many of those shots are landing well short of the baseline, but here's the crowd trying desperately to get into it.
What it doesn't show is the number of shots that Roddick particularly has hit out or into the net. Like that. This is a guy who's lost one set in this tournament, only 4 sets in the last 3 tournaments he's played.
And he's beaten Nalbandian easily on both their previous matches.
A rare big shot on the backhand. Too good. It's been a high-class set, this one, from David Nalbandian. And he has a couple of points here to go 2 sets up. Sterling effort. He's raised his game here. And he's told Andy Roddick he's got to raise his game not just 1 notch, but 2 or 3 if he's to have any chance at all of going through here to his dream of making the US Open final. It looks a forlorn hope right now.
Der gefällt dir doch wieder.
Ich denke halt einfach an dich. Der ist so praktisch.
Gut, ich sag mal, für die Kinder ist das natürlich schon schön.
Welche Kinder?
Alles, was die IAA bringt, schon jetzt in Auto, Motor und Sport. Mit über 100 Neuvorstellungen und 36-seitigem Messeführer. Auto, Motor und Sport. Jetzt im Handel.
Und jetzt noch einmal das Entscheidende in Zeitlupe. Mehr Kraft, mehr Lebensfreude, mehr Spaß. Finden Sie in 7 Schritten zum persönlichen Glück. Jetzt in der neuen Hör zu.
Alles, was die IAA bringt, schon jetzt in Auto, Motor und Sport. Mit über 100 Neuvorstellungen und 36-seitigem Messeführer. Auto, Motor und Sport. Jetzt im Handel.
Mit dem neuen Eurosport-SMS-Dienst können Sie die besten sportlichen Klingeltöne auf Ihr Handy herunterladen. Für die neuesten Klingeltöne, auch Polyphone, schicken Sie einfach M-Ton an 82066. Laden Sie mit Eurosport die besten Klingeltöne via SMS herunter. Senden Sie M-Ton an 82066.
With Kia, the car that cares.
Roddick starts set number 3, 2 sets down. He has come back from 2 sets to love down once before. No, not in that match you're thinking of. Not in the massive, epic quarter-final against Yunus El Anawi, but earlier on, David.
Yes, in the previous round against the Russian Mikhail Yuzhny, Roddick won 6-7, 3-6, 7-5, 6-3, 6-2. And Brad Gilbert smiling outwardly. I bet he's tearing his heart out inwardly.
He wants to get that bounce, that spring in the step, the fist bump, but the strut. Where's the strut, Andy? That's a good game. Good way to start set number 3. It's not over yet. One thing the Roddick fans won't have to be worried about is his fitness. He's had it light in this tournament, and we know if pressed from what happened in Melbourne, he can go the full distance. But can he take it the full distance? It looks unlikely.
First game, sunset.
Well, the advantage here is that Roddick is serving first, so as long as he can hold serve, keep his nose in front, there'll always be that hope that he can begin to turn this match around. But now, does he have the nous? It's a competitive brain to say, I've got to do something very, very different. Anything at all to break up the pattern of the match, which has just been played at the tempo, the pace of Nalbandian.
His serving stats looking better and better. 76% of Nalbandian's first serves go in.
He's looking very vulnerable, isn't he, when he's pulled really wide on the forehand side. A host of unforced errors. Well, perhaps unforced is the wrong word. A host of errors.
Yes, I'm sure he won the point earlier on. Looking to Brad Gilbert, presumably, for support here. But he's being pulled this way and that by the serve. Only Nalbandian's third ace. But you're right, he's getting him off balance, and Roddick is just doing no job at all now of reading it. In fact, it's getting more and more difficult.
He had 2 successful serves out wide, and then he changes it up nicely going down the tee when Roddick is covering the forehand yet again.
Just have missed. 4th double. Ace number 20.
It really is the serve that's keeping him in the contest. In every other department, he's been comprehensively outplayed.
Still that 141-mile-an-hour serve that we saw very early on is the quickest. But he was cranking it up there and looking a little more energized. He needs 2-1 and he needs some help. See if we can pick this up. This is Doug Spreen. Looks like it's something with the foot. Is it blisters? Can't believe so, because he hasn't been that amount of time on court.
Yeah, but of course these hard courts take a terrible toll on everything.
Blisters it is. So he'll take the full 3-minute timeout.
Nalbandian just hearing that from Andreas Egby, who speaks fluent Spanish because he lives in Spain these days. His wife is a research scientist. In Cambridge for a time, and she worked at the university there.
We should have nabbed him.
No, that's the one thing we're all right with. We've got a few decent umpires. It's just a few players we need. It's the yellow spot just on the corner. Nasty.
But if the fire isn't there, it's very unlikely that it's going to come. What he needs is a whole sequence of shots. He needs a break. That's what he needs badly. If he can break Nalbandian and he can get the crowd fired up and believing again and create the atmosphere. We saw a shot of Jimmy Connors earlier on. He needs something like that.
Yep. Oh, yes. I can always remember the year that Jimmy got to the semi-finals at the age of 39. In the very first round, he was 2 sets to love, a break, and 15-40 down on his own serve to go down the double break against Patrick McEnroe. You'll never remind Patrick of that match. He doesn't have happy memories of it. But Connors held serve, broke back, turned the match around, and the place went wild. And of course, he went on to reach the semi-finals. But of course, the other side of the equation is, will Nalbandian begin to just tighten up a little bit as the winning post comes into sight? Of course, he does have the advantage of having reached a Grand Slam final, of having won a Grand Slam semi, whereas Roddick's record is played 2, lost 2.
He did get a little tentative against Yunus Ilanawi, so it does happen, but he rids himself of that. It seems that it can happen for a period of 10-15 minutes. He may look as if he's choking, and he may actually choke in those few minutes and then gets it back.
Yeah, and of course against Federer, wasn't it? He was a set down, then he was 5-love up in the second. Federer gets it back to 5-all, and you think, well, Federer's going to go on, win the set, 2 sets to love, he's going to win the match. But Nalbandian didn't let it get to him. He took that set eventually on the tiebreak. The question is, how will his feet feel in his shoes when he's got everything back on? He probably wishes he had another pair of shoes half a size larger.
That's close examination of an expert at work, isn't it?
Stay here, stay here, stay here, stay here, stay here. Where's that powder? Where's that powder? Okay. Open it up for me.
There's the aces from Roddick. See quite a lot of them down the tee. Just the odd one out wide, mostly from the deuce court. But even if you read them, at that pace, at 135 up to 141 miles an hour, there's not much you can do.
No. Half a second you're getting to react. But Nalbandian's done a pretty good job of getting serves back when he's been able to get a racket on the Roddick first serve. I would say that well over 50% have gone back, and that's not easy. So will this long wait just have disturbed Nalbandian's concentration? Inevitably there will be some people will say, well, why should he be allowed treatment for blisters? It's a loss of natural condition, as the old phrase used to be. It's the same in the argument about cramping. Should you be allowed to get treatment for that?
I think it's fair. And myself, I think it's logical.
Don't worry, I'm coming out and playing.
Carry on playing, but is he going to play any better?
Stop bitching. Bryce has got 18 fucking points. Time.
So, 1-2. After the long break for the injury to Roddick, we're in business again. The backhand, which started off solid, is looking less and less solid now. Too good.
There's no sign that the solidity of the Nalbandian game has been affected by the long delay.
Oh, that's a glorious shot.
It certainly is, but Roddick's been feeding it all day, hasn't he? And all day, I think I can remember one that Nalbandian missed when he's running onto the forehand passing shot. He can play it either way and has done so.
No pressure at all from Roddick on Nalbandian there. No signs that the magic might come. And he's running out of time.
And that last point, Nalbandian not really doing a lot, just pushing the ball back nice and deep and saying to Roddick, come on then. You hit it if you want to, you go for the winner. And Roddick just can't find them.
Nalbandian taking advantage of the second serve. And at the moment, it's only the serve the first serve of Roddick that's holding him up here. Otherwise, he's just being steadily dismantled.
Very wild.
Nalbandian just going about his work in a ruthlessly efficient way here. And signs that Roddick is starting to fray big time. Just out. That slow tempo again. Roddick being sucked into it. And this could be the match right here. Very close call.
Nalbandian, though, hit the clean winner off it anyway, just to emphasise the point.
2 break points. He needs the aces right here.
Nalbandian will be furious with himself. Second serve on a break point. That's what you pray for against someone like Roddick.
And he picked it. Well done. Wasn't too courageous there, but he did the sensible thing. Now his first serve is eluding him.
Just been a little tentative on these last 3 points.
When he saw Roddick coming, his eyes lit up.
As Roger Federer described him after he'd lost to him for the 5th straight time as a great contra player, a great counter-attacker. He's really picked off Roddick at the net.
Again, he picked the serve, and again, he wasn't able to do anything about it. Roddick is hanging on here, no more. Buying just a little bit more time. Bit more of an animated gesture then from the American, which the crowd wanted to see.
Third set, Nalbandian by 2 sets to love.
Still with serve in set number 3.
Well, if Roddick is going to make a move to start turning the match around, maybe some painkiller send it to him as well. Asking how many he's supposed to take. This is the moment, surely, because Nalbandian will know he really had the match on his racket there. 15-40, 2 chances to break through, and he had second serves on both of them. didn't take advantage. So now, if Roddick can just win the first 1 or 2 points on the Nalbandian service game, that might just get the crowd involved. Now the tennis match, really important stages of sets. It strikes me that this next game is one of those. Nalbandian can hold, particularly if he can hold comfortably. Right back to the situation where he is the very hot favourite. Is it going through his mind now? Gosh, it should be 2 sets to love and a break in front.
Time.
So much depends on Roddick right here. He looks more animated now than any time in the match. You can see from those gestures, he's trying to bring the crowd into it. He might have done that an hour ago, and he'd be in a lot more healthy position than that scoreline there. It's not too late. It's very late, but not too late. Important miss.
That was much for the Roddick of last year, because he had Nalbandian on the ropes early in the rally, and he stayed back and allowed the Argentine to just ease his way back into the point. Moved in, he would have had a pretty comfortable shoulder high volley to put away.
Well, I think he did the right thing. Yes, that's what they need to see from him. Some kind of reaction, good or bad. Something to show that the real Andy Roddick is on court, not this imposter. The eyes are a bit more alive now.
Unlucky.
Yes, that might have been the shot. The margins are just fractionally against him. That was an important time there. Nalbandian got lucky. Right in the corner, I think it was. Ace number 4 from the Argentine. And he's 3 games away from a place in his 2nd Grand Slam final.
Placement of the Nalbandian first and second serves, just a few aces. And one thing he's certainly not doing is going for the body at all.
What gets me about Hawkeye is there have been a few more serves than that. They just not register, or they're not bothering to put them in? Or is that an overview?
It's a broad canvas.
Okay.
I think.
I believe you. I think by and large it's a great addition, Hawkeye. Just got to be a little bit careful it doesn't become too mundane and too overused. It's as good as the people who are using it.
I think its primary purpose is to illustrate whether the ball's in or out, and that it does quite superbly. Now then, these are very important moments. Again, Roddick behind on serve.
Let that one rip. It's really cranking it up now. Was a little foolhardy, I'm not sure. I don't think he got the centre line. It was very close, impossible to overrule. Let's have a look at this. No, don't think it got any of the line. No, it didn't. A double fault it was. Hawkeye to the rescue, but not to Roddick. He needs some rescuing right here. No, he couldn't expect him to overrule it.
The reason the umpire can't overrule down the centre service line is that he follows the ball and your eyes cannot keep up. You have to go with the line judge. And the line judge was absolutely right.
It's break point. That was a ripper. Nalbandian a little tentative again. He got the second serve, but not able to do anything about it. He's missing opportunities. And Roddick makes him pay there. Something's starting to happen for Roddick now. Ace number 22. But he mustn't get carried away. 2 double faults in the game. He's really laying it down now.
This is beginning to impose his big game, the big forehand.
His best game by a long, long way. It's not over. Currently the best player in the world has taken a mauling here. But he's finding his character.
I've said one word. Step up. No doubt about that one. I don't want to hear it. No doubt about that one.
There was a very big doubt about it, Andy. It was wide.
Yes, talking about the call on the second serve.
Maybe that was just what he needed to get himself fired up. And thinks back to John McEnroe, who often used to use an incident to raise the level of his game, his intensity, his play. Roddick certainly fired up, and again it'll be gnawing in the back of the Nalbandian mind, hey, I've had break points in the last 2 games. I've had a second serve on each break point and I've not broken through, and you don't get that many chances normally against a Roddick serve.
But he does take that kind of thing better perhaps than he should do. Such a stoic character is Nalbandian. I get your point, and maybe it will have the effect, because there's no doubt about it, he's missed chances. And the crowd are starting to believe that they can bring Andy Roddick home here, even from that scoreline. But there's one thing, they won't get to Nalbandian. There were some very feisty comments directed at him and some pretty horrendous gestures too by the Moroccans yesterday. He didn't flinch and he didn't react. He just beat their man. This is the kind of atmosphere he wants to play to. Poor Roddick.
That's very poor. If he'd have pushed it deep into the backhand corner, Roddick was a goner. Elected to go for the stop volley.
Well, that was close. But I guess justice done. Nalbandian was a little fortunate there. That's terrific hitting from Roddick. Starting to look the world's best player. Ferrero may have taken over the #1 spot, but Roddick's the #1 on the champions race. And certainly the #1 player on form right at the moment. There's a chance there. This will be a big game for Nalbandian to hold here.
Yes, and this is an enormous point at 30 all in it. He's lost his serve in the match yet.
Well, it would have been a very tricky shot if it was over. But now it's Roddick's turn to miss an opportunity. Oh, no reaction from Nalbandian. But what a shot that was.
He was under the cosh at 15:30. You just sense that that was the moment the match could well turn on its head. And he played so well from there.
Service starting to look awesome again. 14 aces in the first set. First set that he lost. be happening now is the adrenaline is starting to really pump through him, and he's just slightly overcooking it at the moment.
There's always that danger, but I think he's doing the right thing and being much more aggressive, going for that forehand far more. Because if he just settles for rallying, there's only one winner.
24 aces now. Quick fast start from Andy Roddick.
Roddick leads 5 games to 4, third set.
And he forces Nalbandian to serve to stay in set number 3. I don't know if it's coincidence, David, but he's looked a better player and with the kind of spirit that we've wanted ever since Doug Spreen came on to treat those blisters on his foot.
Well, obviously, if he was playing in pain, it's bound to niggle away at the back of your mind. There's that fact, the fact that he got fired up over a call, even though the call was correct. We know that. He still doesn't think it was. But that's the fascination of tennis, isn't it? Even though he's 2 sets to love down, you can just see the momentum is swinging a little bit his way, and if he could just push it a little further and would win this set, then the match is right back in the balance. Whereas, you know, if you were 3-0 down, 4-0 down in the football match with 5 minutes left, you lost.
Been supporting too many Welsh teams.
I thought you were talking about football, not rugby.
Yeah, they're very good lately. Better, dare I say it, than England. Back to the tennis. Incidentally, we had an email, and maybe there's a lot of you who agree with it, saying that the tennis commentators on Eurosport waffle a lot. Would you double their pay if they shut up? So I put that email forward to the finance department with my recommendation. Certainly the longest rally of the match.
I shall remain silent for the rest of the match.
It's tempting.
The other thing about Nalbandian is the depth he keeps. It's one of the reasons why Roddick hasn't been able to bring the big forehand to bear. He's constantly having to hit it from way back behind the baseline.
Much more aggressive now, but you can see the gesture. No, it's not that kind of day. It's better than it was, but it's not saying a lot, not by his standards. And there's a bigger shot as Roddick's hit from Nalbandian. And there's a very quick game from him.
It's Nalbandian's first love service game of the match. Wonderful time to come up with it. Serving to stay in the set.
The aces are coming thick and fast again. Number 25. This has not been kind to him at the moment.
Interesting there, though. Nalbandian got a look at the second serve and was much more aggressive on the return. When he's had the break points, he's been content just to push the ball back.
Not that time. One of the few times when Roddick's been at the net that he's won the point. Nalbandian will be disappointed with that. He's a better lobber than he showed in that shot. Not fault. That's the lob he wanted in the previous point. Heroic stuff there from Roddick. He's certainly giving it absolutely everything right now. And he's managed to increase the tempo, which is one of the things he wanted to do.
Nalbandian is a better lobber off the backhand wing. He had plenty of time there, of course.
'26th ace.
6 games to 5. Third set. Nalbandian by position.
So now Roddick's in this lovely situation. I always feel he's got a free game. He knows at worst he's into the tie break. If he can just strike a couple of those big forehands early on in the game, get to within a couple of points of taming the set. So if he can win this set, the place will go wild. So calm externally. There's got to be that nagging feeling that he had the chances midway through this set to get the vital break.
Really has looked a performance of utter maturity from Nalbandian. Only 21 years of age.
He looks so much older, doesn't he? He's fully grown man in every sense of the word, whereas there's something still coltish about Andy Roddick.
Yes, there is. There's only 7 months difference between the two of them. Roddick 7 months younger. So Nalbandian then for the second time will serve to stay in this set.
This is not what Roddick wanted at all. Cheap point conceded.
Unusual miss from Nalbandian, whose first serve percentage right now is 77%. Over 2 hours and 20 minutes. That is some doing. Ooh, a very close call. Quick and decisive from the line judge.
15 starting.
Now then. That's another testament to how well he's played Nalbandian. Very long first set. Since then, only 11 unforced errors. Ooh. That was mighty close too. Right down the line of Andreas Egli. He was right last time. What about this? Did that get some of the line? Looks like it might have. Yep, it did. And it was a winner, or a winning. He would have won the point.
It's interesting that Roddick make a huge fuss about a call which the line team got right. Yes. Makes hardly any fuss about one they got wrong.
Yes. He didn't get such a good view of that one. A rare miss from Nalbandian.
There's 5 unforced errors in the set. 2 of them have come in this game, and it's given Roddick a look.
Yeah, the big forehand did the job there. And Roddick is now staring at set point.
This time he had a break point. It was the very first game of the second set.
Well, once it started developing, you had to make Nalbandian the favourite. How frustrating must that be for player and coach?
8 break points he's had. No breaks.
Will that be the last chance? Still, the precision work from Nalbandian continues. Strong as teak. It's been a prodigious performance mentally from this Argentine. And Andy Roddick shakes his head. It's not the frame of mind he wants to go into this breaker, bearing in mind what happened in the first.
Yes, 7 points to 4. Nalbandian won that first tie-break by, and got the mini-break on the very first point.
I think you heard it. It was an exact commentary on the shot. And it didn't come from David Mercer. So immediately Nalbandian gets the jump on Roddick at the start of this breaker. They don't look calm, do they? He does. He looks almost philosophical about it, as if it is that kind of day. It may well be. A rally that typified the match. Looking up to the skies now, Brad Gilbert, and I think it's only divine intervention that's going to haul this back.
Some incredible serving. But one thing's for sure, Roddick, you feel now just has to win these 2 points in his serve.
3-1.
Exciting shot making. But shots, I'm afraid, like that, moments like that have been few and far between for Roddick this afternoon. But a Pete Sampras-like smash. Wonderful. No wonder they're so excited. It's been a big, big year for Argentine tennis. Semi-final of the Davis Cup, 9 players in the top 100. Coria looking so exciting. And now Nalbandian edging towards his second Grand Slam final.
And I was admiring that little slice down the line from Roddick because he hadn't played any of those, and it was deep and it was into the corner. And Bandit just swatted it away.
He wobbled a bit against Federer. He wobbled a bit against Elanawi. He hasn't wobbled once in this match. Yet.
You hexed him, didn't you?
I might have.
4-3,
Mini break recovered. They're back on serve.
The gap was there, it was too inviting. For once he forgot his percentage tennis, Nalbandian.
4-all.
Is he grabbing on to the lifeline? "27 aces.
He was never in front in the first set tiebreak, Roddick. He is now.
5-4 Roddick.
Wasn't even close.
He's got way ahead of himself there. Like it was lagging behind. It'll either be match point or set point.
Oh, it's a wonderful shot from David Nalbandian. Precision again amidst this cauldron.
Roddick played a perfect point. Not a bad approach. Nalbandian, a shot of genius.
It's brought him match point. And it was that good.
Whoa.
Didn't he crunch that one? Crowd are in raptures. This is what they came to see. And can he keep it going? Some way to save match point. Absolute screamer, 136 miles an hour. Ace number 28, set point.
Unanswerable serving, and to produce it at a moment like that.
Squeal of anguish.
7-all.
What a breaker. Some of the best tennis we've seen. We've had set point, we've had match point.
Thank you.
Well,
8-7.
the crowd obviously affected his shot. Screams of out. Then Roddick falling over. Nalbandian having a go at Andrew Egley, but he's saying, what can I do? It was in. It looked in. Yeah. He's telling them now they obviously affected his shot. And here's Roddick then, with a chance to take the set on his serve.
Thank you.
Well played. Roddick is still alive in this tournament. I'm not sure how much belief there was for Brad Gilbert and for a lot of people here, but he's done enough to take this into a fourth set, and he's got the crowd electrified. The dream is still alive.
Alles, was die IAA bringt, schon jetzt in Auto, Motor und Sport. Mit über 100 Neuvorstellungen und 36-seitigem Messeführer. Auto, Motor und Sport. Jetzt im Handel. Alles, was die IAA bringt, schon jetzt in Auto, Motor und Sport. Mit über 100 Neuvorstellungen und 36-seitigem Messeführer. Auto, Motor und Sport. Jetzt im Handel.
Gewinnen Sie einen Laptop mit drahtlosem Internetzugang, das MotoGP UAT2 Videospiel oder einen elektronischen Filofax. Die Frage: Welche Trikotnummer trägt David Beckham bei Real Madrid? Die Antwort schicken Sie Eurosport 1 für 7, 2 für 23 oder 3 für 77 an 82060 oder rufen Sie an 0190 173 173 und gewinnen Sie einen Laptop mit Centrino-Technologie. Alles läuft bei eurosport.de. Ticker, Gamezone, Forum, in Wort, Sound, Bild und Videostream. Eurosport.de, die interaktive Seite des Sports.
That's the situation then. 2 hours and 34 minutes, but it's a different crowd. It's a different Andy Roddick. Nalbandian continuing to play very well, but Roddick's raised his game. He's raised the tempo. Still fancy Nalbandian, but who knows? What say you, David?
Yes, I've got a sneaky suspicion now. Nalbandian will know he had the opportunities, in particular the break points midway through the set. Sure, he had match point, but Roddick saved it with a blistering serve. But on those break points, and I know I'm harping on about this, he had a second serve in each one of them and didn't take advantage.
A couple of errors early on. Gives Roddick a sneak of a chance here to make the break early on. Okay. And he does look distracted now. 2 break points for Roddick.
It was awful, wasn't it? Right on the bottom of the frame.
And Roddick breaks him for the first time.
Ball change, please.
After over 2.5 hours.
New balls.
And that really does make it a very even contest right now.
Of course, when he beat Marty Fish in the final of Cincinnati, he saved match points. Yeah, up a break now. Roddick's lost his serve just once in the entire match. They both have now. Certainly it looks like an even contest, and most definitely this man has the momentum.
Nalbandian's seemingly forgotten what's taken him this far. He's starting to go for a few more shots now and making errors. They're now playing at Roddick's tempo. Wonderful effort. He's fired up now. All the adrenaline in the world.
Remembered that the last time it had a point like that, Nalbandian had gone down the line on the little backhand push.
Seventh double.
great to be fired up. You mustn't lose control of your emotions. That's what happened to Jennifer Capriati last night.
It's like he's been hiding the real Andy Roddick for 2.5 hours. He's found himself now. That was a bullet. And it's 140. .41 remains the quickest serve so far. Yes, the momentum is firmly in the American camp right now. Talked about this man's resilience, Nalbandian. And he needed all here, and he is now battling the most informed player in the world, plus the 20,000 here who are cheering him on.
One man who'll be happy to see this match going on and on and on. Carlos Ferrero.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that one of the exchanges, maybe Roddick had not realised there were new balls in the previous game and hadn't shown them to Nalbandian. It's so important for Nalbandian to hold here, to at least put the brakes on the runaway train that is Roddick.
Good return, as good a return as he's made for some while. It's not been a great returning performance, this, from Roddick. Nalbandian's looked contained right the way through this match. He's starting to look a little flat.
We love back to juice, and wonders whether all those hours of tennis, those 15 hours he's played up to the start of this match, and coming up towards 3 hours of this one, and beginning to take their toll.
Well, Roddick gave that away rather early. I'm surprised how early he gave it away, especially with Nalbandian feeling as he is at the moment. A strange end to the game there from Roddick. Nalbandian showing his thoughts there. It's going to be a long haul.
I'm sorry, I didn't notice. I didn't know that you see the ball. You, David.
interesting aside there. Roddick saying once more apologising that he didn't realise the new balls. It's strange that he didn't realise the new balls, but he didn't.
Isn't that Bandit's response? You didn't notice, but you used them. So a little bit of feeling out there. He's adding a little bit of edge. It was the first sign of emotion, wasn't it, from Nalbandian? He won the game, but spotted the ball away. Fury inside his mind at still being out there.
Yes, I don't think it was so much losing the set or losing the initiative, but dropping his serve. That is what he feels was the big crime.
Of course, Roddick was at the receiving end of lambasting by Ljubicic after their second round encounter. He actually rang him up afterwards and said, if you've got a problem, talk to me about it. So it got to him a little.
Seats bigger, please. Thank you. Time.
On the top of the pile, and he is at the moment. It's a pretty lonely place.
It's one thing that all the other players have in common when they're playing the number one is they want to knock him off the top. Nalbandian's personality is such that he won't take any prisoners. So 2 sets to 1, Nalbandian. 2 games to 1 with a break for Andy Roddick. 2 3/4 hours. And still the aces come wearing down. Ace number 30, that was. Going to be a good few more yet.
There were those sort of shots in the first 2 sets. Absolutely without leave.
His whole game now is really beginning to come together. It's the serve that's kept him there for so long. But now other parts are beginning to catch up. This is lobbing on that forehand side. Not been good.
It's totally the wrong choice of shot because Roddick was so far out of position. There was a fairly easy forehand cross-court winner here.
He's not playing well now, Nalbandian. He played so well for over 2 hours. But now it's his opponent who's playing the better tennis, no doubt about it.
Yes, and some weird choices of shot now coming into Nalbandian's game.
Is he running out of petrol? These could be set points here for Andy Roddick. Certainly should be if he gets one of them. That wasn't clever.
It looks laboured, doesn't it?
It does look as if he's tiring. Well, I think he did miss the centre line. It was very, very close. Yeah, that was a gesture earlier on, but these are the gestures now from Andy Roddick. He's fired up, and he is looking now the likelier winner.
Por eso, cuando son cagones dicen que está cerca. Están haciendo bien. Hay 2 o 3 que son dudas, pero...
There's Nalbandian, who's now disturbed, engaged in conversation with Andreas Egli. He got a bad call. It's just getting on top of him. The question he has to ask himself now is, what does he do for the rest of this set? Does he just give it away? He's down 2 breaks and say, let's start afresh in the 5th.
He's a man of massive strength, mental and physical. Only he knows how much he's got left physically. Mentally, he's looking more frayed.
And this is, of course, where the crowd plays such a huge role, because as soon as they sensed that Roddick was getting into the match in the 3rd set, as soon as he started saving those break points, they were there to lift Roddick. He responded, became much more aggressive, particularly on the forehand. And now it's a one-way street, and Roddick's driving down it in overdrive.
Slowly but surely, the pendulum has turned, and it's frustratingly moving away from the Argentine. Body language now couldn't be more contrasting. He's got the strut now, which was so elusive. Nalbandian looking a fraction slow onto shots now. Well, it's been some time since we've seen a shot like that. But he looks a spent force. He's number 32. And Roddick is storming home here, at least in the 4th set, and quite honestly I can't see it changing around much in the 5th.
No, Nalbandian has got to come up with something very special at the start of the 5th. As we look at the service direction of Roddick. Very few into the body, aren't they?
Yeah.
On the 2nd serve. fourth is done and dusted.
Yes, Nalbandian hemorrhaging errors now. Well, he was odds on once he got there. In fact, he got to the bottom of the net. Whereas before you'd bank your house on Nalbandian winning rallies like that. That's way in the past. Here are 2 set points for Roddick to go racing into the 5th set. He looks a goner. Looks can be deceptive, and Nalbandian is as tough as they come. But either he's a better bluffer than I give him credit for, or there's not much left in the tank. And Roddick will go into this 5th set a very strong favourite.
It's 1 for the money, 2 for the show.
This is Elvis, the Ultimate Collection.
But don't you step on my blue suede shoe. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. You're crying all the time. Return to sender.
88 of the greatest hits from the voice the world loves most.
Love me tender, love me true. You were always on my mind. Well, since my baby left, well, I found a new place to dwell. I'm all shook up.
Nearly 4 hours of feel-good hits and heartfelt classics from the king of rock and roll.
Everybody in old cell block was dancing to the jailhouse rock. We can't go on together with suspicious minds. On a cold and gray Chicago morning, a poor little baby child is born in the ghetto.
4 CDs of classic hits, plus this superb full-color booklet, packed with pictures of the king.
Don't be cruel to who heart is true. You're the devil in disguise, or else you are.
Everyone should have an Elvis collection, and this is the one to own. Order your copy now by calling the numbers shown on screen. Get the ultimate tribute to Elvis Presley with the ultimate Elvis box set. It's Elvis, the Ultimate Collection. Call now.
Here we go then, 2 minutes shy of 3 hours. And David and I were talking during the break. It seems as if it's the run-in, really, the path to the semi-final that's been the difference. Roddick didn't play a seed till he meets Schalken, although he had a tough one against Henman in the first round. And Nalbandian has had Neiman and Philippoussis, Federer and Elanawi. Roddick's first serve percentage picking up now. Well played, Nalbandian.
These first couple of games of this 5th set are absolutely crucial for Nalbandian. If he goes down a break, I just don't think he's got the stamina. If he can cling on, though, get it to 2-all, 3-all, 4-all, then the adrenaline will start pumping through his veins again, and he'll be able to say, well, if I can just sneak a break here.
My mind goes back to the Australian Open. Do you remember that match against Rainer Schuttler? 1 set all. Nalbandian looked the likely winner. He just won the second set. He won one more game after that, and he physically deteriorated very fast. It was extraordinary for such a strong-looking man. Same sort of things happened here. Fourth ace. Oh no, is that wide? I thought it was. Did you? Okay. Yeah, possible to overall. But it seems immaterial now. And this next game, as David pointed out, is the moment of truth for Nalbandian. If he's got anything left, he may already know that there's nothing there. But if there is, he has to show it here.
The difference in service speeds, but look at the kick Roddick gets on the second serve, getting it up so high. Every now and again, I'd like to see you come in behind the second serve, because to drag one down, your return down from around your ears and get it low at the feet of the incoming server is so tough.
Working from the Argentine.
15 off.
Good news for Nalbandian is he does suffer from the heat, and even though we've been going 3 hours and 4 minutes, hasn't been played at that great intensity, because he's dictated the pace for much of the time. And now the sun is down. 6:30 local time.
He's played a very good game so far, Nalbandian. Very important for him to send the message to Roddick. Hey, you may have come back from 2 sets to love down and match point down, but don't count me out yet.
There's a love service game for Nalbandian. So we do have a contest here in set number 5. I think Juan Carlos Ferreira is enjoying this now.
Oh, he's loving it. Remind me. It's whether he's actually bothering to watch it, or whether he's getting a nice early dinner. Suddenly Nalbandian's beginning to win the longer rallies again.
just out.
Well, Nalbandian doesn't realise it.
No, he thinks he's got the point. Now he does. Or was it out? Yes, it was. Good call. I must say, I was with David. When he hit the shot, I thought it was all right. But no, it wasn't. Just missed. Ball was on the line, says Nalbandian, but no, it wasn't. Maybe Nalbandian just needs a row to get him going again. Roddick really unleashing that forehand.
Especially because Nalbandian had done so well to get the big booming serve back and back virtually to the baseline.
Roddick's point, what we can see now, though, is that Nalbandian definitely tanked that fourth set. He may be tired. I think he's a lot less than he was, but he's a lot more than he showed towards the end of that fourth set.
Yes, he clearly decided, OK, I'm down the double break, I've got no chance, let's have a break, let's have a breather.
Go change, please.
35 aces now. And Roddick in front.
Nalbandian still conversing with umpire Egley about the call. It's funny, the two big rows, the line judges have both been right.
I must say the calling, I think, in this tournament has been particularly good, and the officiating in general.
I found he understands in Spanish.
Sounds like he does. It's great news, isn't it, if you only half understand a language, when you're getting something you don't really want to hear, you don't hear it.
Yes. He'll be just delighted that Nalbandian is upset. Watching the giant screen again. So once again the pressure on Nalbandian to keep on level terms. He had a glimmer of a chance there at 15:30.
Third semi-final in a Grand Slam, but never reached a final yet. Roddick is tantalizingly close now.
Time.
An opponent who's undoubtedly ailing. He has the momentum, he has the crowd, and now he has the spirit. A few more gaps emerging at the top. A number of people right up there have gone home, but not many of the committed near a court.
Some of them would have spotted some seats.
Yes.
Lower down and slipped the odd greenback to the stewards. It has been known.
Spoken through experience now. You mean that press box? The umpire's chair.
No, never umpired in America. Which is, fortunately, that's the nice thing, isn't it? The media accreditation, you don't have to pay for seats. I bought a few over there. Guests, wife.
Roddick so much more confident now in the longer rallies. He sees the finishing line, but he mustn't get too excited about it. Nearly.
Is that what the signal of the watch is? Take your time, I presume.
Yes, take plenty of time. It doesn't like him moving forward. Pretty animated. Nalbandian not as animated as he was.
He's doing the business again, isn't he? He's competing again, holding his serve very comfortably. Just conceded 1 point in his 2 service games in this 5th set.
I'd love to know how much liquid he loses. He drinks an awful lot in the change rounds, but he's got out about 4 or 5 kilos, I would think, in a match like this.
Good use of the second serve, getting it to rear up and swing into the face of Nalbandian.
Yeah, the net cord didn't help him, and nor did Nalbandian.
Perfectly legitimate to go straight for your opponent.
It's a close call.
Well played.
Fantastic control. And it did show that there is a little bit there left to make the move across. And wonderful control. That time Roddick's turn. Well, this is just what they wanted, just what they came for. A terrific scrap. It's been a slow burner, very slow to really get started, but now we have one terrific contest.
Roddick certainly enjoying it now. He didn't enjoy the first 2 sets at all.
It's funny how drama seems to follow him around, Roddick. He has that kind of personality. Not that we saw much of it today for a couple of hours, but remember the match against El Anawi, which is and always will be etched in our memory. And now this, and it's come from a most unlikely source. It was a nothing match for an hour and a half.
Yep. It was only when Roddick saved those break points midway through the 3rd set, the crowd got into it. He started to pump himself up, being much more aggressive off the forehand. And his natural self came out. Up till then, he's really had been dominated by Nalbandian. Of course, when you've won 17 straight matches, even if you're match point down at 2 sets to love, you're still thinking, hey, you can win this.
Gets to be a habit. Raucous support now for Andy Roddick. Well played. You mentioned earlier on, David, the Davis Cup semi-final that Argentina have to play in Malaga against Spain. This is a nice little hors d'oeuvre for that, isn't it, to take on Roddick here? 2 weeks' time, huh?
Yes, Nalbandian and Coria, one assumes, against Ferrero and Moya.
How about this for cool?
He really had to stretch there, didn't he? It was a lunge, it was a tired-looking movement, but not a tired-looking shot.
Well, they're bringing the crowd into it.
Yes, I think the ball was neatly held.
Bit of a bluff. A bit slow to get to the previous shot. I don't know quite what he was doing.
He's Roddick, I think, thought he hit a winner with this one. He really wasn't in a position to get back on the court. But again, how calm is that from Nalbandian?
Haven't seen much of that from Roddick. Little chip and charge. Still get the feeling that Nalbandian is very, very close to the edge, but his spirit is undeniable. And while he's there, there's still hope.
Yes, I too sense he's clinging on by the fingernails, but who knows? Roddick has a bad service game. Nalbandian connects with a couple of second service returns. It can all turn on a couple of points. Double fault here, lucky net cord there.
Terrific volleying from Andy Roddick.
It's particularly the first one because it was a low volley. Nalbandian was expecting the drop shot moving forward. So Roddick very cleverly pushed it deep. It was Nalbandian to have to turn.
Ace number 36.
You sure, son?
Well, quickly out of date as usual. Well, that's bullet-like serving from Andy Roddick. First serve percentage sticking at around the 60% mark, but winning 80% of the points when his first serve goes in, and increasingly so now as Nalbandian struggles.
Yeah, there's the huge advantage. This massive serve gives you a cheap service game. Nalbandian has hardly finished his previous one, and he's got to come out and serve again. He has to work so much harder. It's a bit like Leighton Hewitt, isn't it? I think one of the reasons that Leighton has not done so well this year is that he's finding it increasingly hard to grind out point after point after point.
But his game plan here, Nalbandian, was so close to working, and it still might. Still think he's second favourite, but for 2 sets, he'd spun Roddick around in circles, slowing the tempo down, and Roddick just couldn't get into the match. And as you said, David, just those break points in the third set, 3 of them, when he had the second serve, boy, oh boy, he was close.
Time.
And this is a game where it's all about taking your chances. They're often so fleeting.
With serve so far, comfortably with serve in this set. Some shot there, and a brave one too from Nalbandian.
There's a terrific footwork too to get into position. There's little steps when the legs are very weary.
Oh, what an error of judgment there. He stumbled as the ball landed, as if he couldn't quite believe it.
He was so far back here, Nalbandian, that if he was going to let it drop, he had to cover it.
Rather lame forehand. And it puts him in trouble. Yeah, once he got it on the forehand, he wasn't going to let him go. 2 break points for Roddick. If he gets one of them, he will serve for a place in the final.
The forehand was so muted for very near the whole of 3 sets. Found it in the nick of time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It's missed it. Again, desperately close. He's got to control himself right now. Difficult. The other side of the court, obviously, from Andreas Egli. Oh! It touched the line, didn't it?
Well, you can't see a space between the line and the mark.
No. You couldn't overrule it, though, could he? Oh, my word. You can understand his frustration. He's given absolutely everything out there. He's entitled to moan.
Roddick leads 5 games to 3.
But that is probably the last straw. Looks out from that angle. Hawkeye, which is a more accurate reading, tells us that it was resting against the line. Of course, it was a tired shot.
15 long.
Oh. 38th ace. The serve that's held him up now looks to be pulling him towards victory. 3 match points. He's there. Andy Roddick is a Grand Slam finalist.
6-1, 5-3.
Roddick takes the plaudits, and deservedly so. As in Australia, he's shown superhuman resilience when it all looked up. But Nalbandian's in a frenzy.
Yeah, you feel for Nalbandian. 1 point away from victory. He dominated the match, really, until he let that 4-2 lead slip away in the third set tiebreak. But all credit to Roddick to come from match point down, to find his game in the nick of time, and in the end he won, pulling away decisively.
A terrific afternoon. 2 wonderful matches.
I don't know. Very carefully, I guess. I don't know. He just. I thought I had a little bit left in the tank, a little more than he did, because he had, to his disadvantage, he's had to play a couple more matches than I have in the last couple of days. So, I knew that, and I just tried to keep fighting.
I suppose the crowd helped just a bit.
You guys were awesome. You're awesome. Too much.
And of course, tomorrow they're going to need to be a big help. You don't have much time to turn it around. Juan Carlos Ferrero is playing great tennis.
Yeah, he is. He played great against Andre today. I'm just going to have to get a good night's sleep, eat a lot of food, and come out and try to do it tomorrow.
Congratulations. Great guts. Dick?
Great guts, that's for sure. But what happened to him, only he knows for the first hour and 3/4, and he'll hope the same thing doesn't happen tomorrow against Ferrero, otherwise he's dead meat.
Yeah, Juan Carlos has played so well. And it's not going to be easy. A good night's sleep. Hey, he's going to take a couple of hours to come down from this one. He's got to eat. He's in his first Grand Slam final at home. His mind is going to be racing tonight. I wonder how much sleep he'll get. And this crazy scheduling where you have to play the semis and the final back to back.